So today I want to sit down and talk with you about the top 10 most popular coffee shop menu items, and I'm going to explain them to you because a lot of people don't know what the heck is on that menu. So, to start off, I'm going to talk to you briefly about espresso. That's going to be our number one item here. Okay, so when you go to a coffee shop, you're going to get an espresso shot. If you just ask for espresso, you're going to get literally just 2 shots of espresso. And they may not come in like these little glasses, they might put it in like a separate cup or something. But if you order espresso or a doppio is 2 shots. This is what you're going to get, is 2 shots full of very concentrated coffee. So basically all espresso is another way to brew your coffee, and it's just hot water forced through very finely ground coffee beans, and then you just get more concentrated coffee. Another misconception about espresso is that it has more caffeine than a 12-ounce cup of coffee, which it does not. So actually a 12-ounce cup of coffee is going to have more typically than your 2 shots of espresso. Now, our second menu item that we're going to talk about is like probably the most popular menu item at your coffee shop, and that is a latte. Now, a latte is just steamed milk poured over top of either 1 or 2 shots of espresso. Normally people get it with a flavor, unless you're like a coffee snob or whatever. A lot of them, they don't like to have that flavor with their coffee because they're very into the flavor of the espresso and tasting only that espresso. But normally it comes with a flavor, so that's your pumpkin spice latte, your vanilla latte, your chai latte, or whatever. So really all it is the shots and steamed milk poured on top, and that's when you're going to get that latte art that you see on Instagram. Okay, now our third is pretty similar, and that is a mocha. And a mocha is pretty much a latte, it's just chocolate. So normally people will either use a powder, like a hot chocolate powder mixed with water to make that mocha, or they'll just use like a chocolate syrup almost. It varies depending on the coffee shop that you go to, but it's very, very similar to a latte. 4 is our cappuccino. Again, very similar to the latte. However, the difference here is you have a lot more foam and less of that steamed frothy milk. Okay, so you're going to have the 1 or 2 shots of espresso, then you're going to have a small layer of steamed milk, and you're going to have a thick layer of foam. Whereas if you just got a latte, you'd get 1 or 2 shots of espresso with a large layer of steamed milk and a thin layer of milk foam. So if you go to a coffee shop and you ask for a extra dry cappuccino, that means more foam than a regular cappuccino. So dry just means less steamed milk, more foam, if that makes sense. So that's a cappuccino. Our next is a macchiato. Now this needs all the exclamation points around it because this is the biggest misconception for people who just walk into a coffee shop and think that they're getting a Starbucks caramel macchiato. That's not what you're going to get. So if you walk into a coffee shop and you order a macchiato, you're going to get something that comes like this. If you went to Starbucks and you ordered a macchiato, this is not what you would get. You would get it's basically a latte at Starbucks. We'll just put it that way. But if you go to a coffee shop, what you're going to get is you're going to get 1 or 2 shots of espresso in this cup, and then you're going to get a dollop of milk foam on top of this. It's going to be very concentrated, it's going to be very strong, and it's really for people who love, love, love coffee and love their coffee very strong. And if you don't, I suggest that you don't get this because you're not going to enjoy it very much, and you're going to think it's a waste of money, and you might not even drink it. So, okay. Then the next order of business is a flat white, and this is similar to a latte, but the milk is poured in such a way as to preserve the crema of the espresso, which I'm not going to go super deep into right now, but there's less foam on top than a traditional latte because you really want to preserve the crema and the taste of that latte. And to give a brief explanation of crema, it's that thin caramely layer on top of a shot of espresso when it is pulled, and that really just kind of indicates the quality of the shot of espresso that was pulled. Next that we're going to go on to is our Americano. This is pretty popular as well. So what that is 1 or 2 shots of espresso, like our latte and our cappuccino. But this time, instead of milk, we're just going to add hot water to it. And what that does is it kind of dilutes that concentrated shot of espresso and makes it more like a cup of coffee that you could add cream or sugar to it if you wanted to. And really just has that espresso flavor in it, which is why people would get that as opposed to just a regular cup of coffee. Number 8 is our Cafe Au Lait, and it is not espresso based, and really all it is regular coffee with heated milk added to it, which is what I had this morning. So yeah, it's just a regular cup of coffee, and it's got hot milk added to it. It's really all there is. So it's a little more creamy in texture than just adding. Number 9 is our Breve, and it's pretty much the same as a latte, but instead of whole milk, they use half and half, which is called Breve in like a coffee shop if you want to be snobby. And our last one is our red eye. That's number 10. And our red eye is just a regular cup of coffee with a shot added to it. And I don't know if it's technically a term, but I've heard of a black eye, which is 2 shots of espresso added to it. So yeah, that was our 10 coffee shop menu items explained, and I really hope this was informational for you. Comment any questions that you have. I'd love to hear back from you. Give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to speak with you guys soon.